Today we will study the urinary system. In this lecture, we will first study the definition of the urinary system. What is the urinary system? After that, we will study the functions of the urinary system. What are its functions? Then we will move on to the components of the urinary system. What are the components of the urinary system? After that, we will study the kidney. And at the end, we will study the nephron. This is the entire lecture we will complete in the urinary system. So let's start. First of all, what is the urinary system? Friends, the urinary system is one of the four systems in our body that our body uses for excretion. The other three systems that are counted in excretion are the bowel, which means the digestive system, where we eat food and the undigested food gets excreted. The second is the lungs, where we inhale air, and through oxygen respiration, we exhale carbon dioxide, meaning we excrete it. The skin, through which salts, etc., in our body are excreted through the body and skin. Now we come to the components of the urinary system. What are the components of the urinary system? If we talk about the components, friends, you can see that there are four components. One is the kidney, second is the ureter, urinary bladder, and urethra. This brown colored organ you see is a paired organ called the kidney. After that, from the kidney, a tube comes down, you can see it here. It is going into this bladder we have. So this tube which comes from the kidney into the bladder, and from this kidney too, a tube comes into this bladder. This tube we call the ureter. So the ureters are also paired organs. That's why I have written it. There are two kidneys, two ureters and one urinary bladder. You can see it here. And here is also the urethra, through which we excrete urine. So what does the kidney actually do? Inside the kidney, there are nephrons. Nephrons are the cells of the kidney, very small units, which we call nephrons. I will explain its structure further. This is the nephron you see here. Such nephrons are present in large numbers in the kidney. So the kidney, being a paired organ, what it actually does, it excretes all the waste products in our body. That is, blood comes into the kidney to get filtered. You can see arteries and veins on the side. So they come into the kidney and the kidney filters that blood. Whatever waste products are in it, be it excess water, excess salt, or the blood's pH, the kidney maintains all three. After filtering, the filtered blood goes back into our bloodstream. The remaining extra waste products with the extra water in our body are sent to the bladder through the ureter. So the ureter is a tube that provides a way for the excretory products to be excreted. Then it is stored in the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder acts as a reservoir for urine. After that, there is the urethra through which we excrete urine. Friends, if we talk about location, the kidney, as you can see, is a paired organ. This is the right kidney and this is the left kidney. If you notice, the left kidney is slightly higher compared to the right kidney. As I have written, the right kidney is slightly lower than the left. The right kidney is here, slightly lower than the left. You can see its position here. Where is it located? In our body, near the vertebral column on the back side. On both sides of the vertebral column, one kidney is on this side and the other is on this side. If we talk about measurement, the kidney is a reddish brown organ. It is 11 centimeters in length, 6 centimeters in width, 3 centimeters in thickness. And if we talk about its weight, it varies between males and females. In males, it weighs 150 grams and in females, it weighs 135 grams. Now we come to the anatomy of the kidney. What is the anatomy of the kidney? You can see it here. This is the structure of the kidney. We have divided it into two main portions. One is the outer portion, which we call the cortex, and the internal portion we call the medulla. The outer region you see, the brown part, is called the cortex, and the inner region is called the medulla. After that, these cone-shaped structures you see, these are called renal pyramids. All of these pyramids contain nephrons. Then, these pyramids come together in a structure, which is called the renal pelvis. The renal pelvis is connected to a tube, which we call the ureter. We previously studied this. This is the kidney, this is the pyramids, and this is the ureter. After the ureter, the urinary bladder. The urine moves into the urinary bladder. You are now seeing the nephron. Inside it, you can see the yellow-colored nephron. Inside the kidney, there are two veins. One brings blood to the kidney, so it can be filtered. I told you that the kidney filters the blood. It removes the waste products from it and sends them to the urinary bladder, so we can excrete them. The waste products are all excreted in this way. So as soon as the filtered blood enters, it is filtered and then the filtered blood is sent back. The renal artery brings blood and the renal vein carries blood back. Now let's talk about the nephron. As I mentioned, the kidney is made up of nephrons. So how is the structure of a nephron? The nephron starts from this portion, which we call the glomerulus. This is a cup-shaped structure you see here. This yellow part is the cup. This is the cup-shaped structure. The renal arteriole, which is red, brings blood, and here the blood is filtered. The renal venule, which is blue, carries the filtered back. The blood that comes here enters the Bowman's capsule or the glomerulus. The cup-shaped structure is called the Bowman's capsule, and the filtering system inside it is called the glomerulus. The glomerulus filters the blood. Then the filtered blood moves forward. The waste products move into the tube of the nephron. This tube is called the proximal convoluted tubule. After that, it descends down into the next part, which is called the descending loop. As it comes down, this descending loop turns into the ascending loop. If you notice one thing here, the tube here becomes thinner as it goes down. It is thin from here to here. This U-shaped structure is called the loop of Henle. The thin tube is called the loop of Henle. After the loop of Henle, the tube goes upward, which is called the ascending tube. After that, this tube is the distal convoluted tubule. Earlier, we called it the proximal convoluted tubule, and now we call it the distal convoluted tubule. After that, there is the collecting duct. All the urine that is formed here collects in the collecting duct, and from the collecting duct, it leaves the kidney. It moves into the renal pelvis, which is the pyramid-shaped portion. All the urine produced here in the nephron moves into the renal pelvis. There are millions of nephrons in one kidney. So in two kidneys, there will be millions of nephrons. Now let's discuss the functions of the kidney. What are the functions of the kidney? Friends, the kidney filters the blood plasma to eliminate waste and returns useful chemicals to the blood. These are the three main functions of the kidney. It filters the blood plasma. Then I told you, after filtering the blood, it eliminates the waste products. After that, the filtered blood with its useful chemicals like glucose, proteins, or hormones are sent back into the bloodstream without excreting them. The second main function of the kidney is it regulates blood volume and blood pressure. The third function is it regulates osmolarity in the body. Additionally, there are hormones that are necessary for the body's blood pressure and electrolyte balance. The kidney also secretes those hormones like renin, angiotensin, and aldosterone. All these hormones are released by the kidney to maintain the body's balance, whether it's blood pressure or electrolyte balance. Moreover, the kidney also releases erythropoietin, which controls the RBC count in the body. There is a limit to RBCs in the body. The kidney also regulates the balance of carbon dioxide and acid-base balance, and it also helps in detoxification, helping to detoxify free radicals and drugs. The last function is gluconeogenesis. These are all the functions of the kidney. Question of the day: What tube carries urine from kidney to bladder? Only a genius can answer in the comments below.